Hello everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the UIM Completionist! The overarching goal for the account is to get 200 mil fletching while collection logging at the same time, and today's episode will be all about the Hallowed Sepulchre. I tried it for the first time just barely in the last episode, so today's episode will be all about the Sepulchre. I will be learning how to run it, I will try to complete every floor, and hopefully greenlog the entire minigame. I hope you'll enjoy. With all that said, the first thing I'm gonna do is to teleport out of here, because if I'm gonna do Sepulchre, we're gonna do it in style. I need a few items before I can go and grind the Sepulchre, and while I could follow the recommended beginner setup, it's also a perfect opportunity to get some fashionscape going on the UIM, so I just have to take it. The first item that we'll need is any Saradomin item to be able to restore our run energy at the end of each floor. And typically, people just use a god book because it's light, but I think a much cooler looking item is our own painted kite shield. So to make one, we first need to make a rune kite shield, then change our family crest at Serenity in Falador. Mine was already Saradomin because I'm a certified Zilliana simp. Lastly, build a banner easel in the workshop of my house. And finally, use our rune kite shield on it to make our very own painted kite shield. One item down, but we also need a crossbow to be able to traverse through the pillars, and what better item to combine with our new cool blue shield than a cool blue right crossbow. I already have my stock and the crossbow string, so all I need now is some blue-right ore, and we can even superheat it on the spot because it doesn't require any coal. So now I'll just make some crossbow limbs real quick, and bada bing bada boom, here is our blue-right crossbow. You could say that the shade of blue on the shield doesn't really match well with the blue on the crossbow, but maybe you shouldn't be judging the shield by its cover. Maybe what matters is on the inside. Also, the runite crossbow weighs like 2 kilograms more, so there is no way I'm using it. Okay, I got my Saradomin item, I got my crossbow, what's next? Well, every day when I leave Sepulchre to do some AFKing at work or whatever else, I will be teleporting back using the Draken's Medallion and running through the entirety of Darkmeyer, and to do that safely, I need some Vire clothing. And I have this Vire Noble set, it's fine, it's storable, so it's cool in that regard, but there's an entire store that sells cool Vire clothes, so I might as well splurge a little and buy myself some cool looking gear. So I'll be buying a Vire Noble blazer and a red dress bottom. And now we only need one final finishing touch. The gnome scarf. I'm so glad I kept it in the last episode. Now I'm truly ready to go conquer the Hallowed Sepulchre. So, the Hallowed Sepulchre. It's a 5-floor obstacle course filled with traps that gets progressively more difficult the deeper you go. There are 16 collection log items to be obtained from here, with the vast majority of them being sold by the mysterious stranger in the lobby for some hallowed marks, which are the currency for this minigame. We can get some hallowed marks by opening coffins that can be found on each floor, with each coffin giving more marks the deeper you go, better loot the deeper you go, and having a chance to contain a clue scroll the higher tier the deeper you go. I hope you can see the pattern there. Each coffin also has a chance to give a strange old lockpick, with the chance increasing the deeper you go, a mysterious page, there is one for each floor, and at the end of the entire course lies the Grand Hallowed Coffin, which is the only coffin that can contain a Ring of Endurance, which means that if I want to greenlog this minigame, I need to be able to fully complete it, which is bad news because I've only been here once and I made it to floor 3, so I have a lot of learning to do. Here's the first collection log from the Sepulchre grind, the Hallowed Mark. Oh, and we also got the page, nice, 2 in 1. We can search the skeleton in the lobby to obtain a strange hallowed tome, and we can add our pages to it, and even if I drop it now, they will forever be here. But if you finish the book and read it, it turns out to be a diary of a human that married an Icene warrior, and shortly afterwards, the vampire invasion on Halloween started, and she was sent to the front line, and he came here to the Hallowed Sepulchre to beg the Saradomin priests to bury them together, as usually humans and Icene are buried on different floors. But if we assume that the skeleton here is the person writing in the diary, then that means, in the end, they will be forever separated. Ooh, sick! Strange old lockpick on floor 3, and it was so early. Love to be spooned. This is also great because, as you can see, I'm poisoned now, and the strange old lockpick increases the chance of successfully opening a coffin, so this will be very useful in all my looting. And I managed to get the floor 3 page from the same chest a few runs later. The Royal Titans update just dropped, and I was logged out at the Asgarnian Ice Dungeon, suspecting the area might be updated for the boss, and it turns out I was right. There's a new room with this cool looking frozen throne and a bunch of ice giants, and it's accessible to free-to-play players, and since ice giants are weak to fire spells now, I will for sure come here while training to 200 mil magic in the future. Also, the pirate section of the Asgarnia Ice Dungeon got a little update as well. You now climb those rocks when you're going down a level, so that's really cool and really adds to the aesthetics of the whole place. And the ladder has this glow now. I'm not sure if this was here before, but I don't think so. I managed to beat floor 4 for the first time within the time limit. I actually beat it a few times already, but I always run out of time because I failed so much. So this is the first proper actual floor 4 finish, and the first time I will get to see floor 5. I'm really excited and a little bit scared, to be honest. Okay, this is really difficult. I mean, I can see the patterns when they happen. I know to stand on the fires that just shot, etc., but execution is the whole nother thing. Oh my god. I did it. I did it. You can't tell me I didn't do it. I know I ran out of time a long time ago. I was one fail away from having to teleport out, but I did it. I made it to the Grand Hallowed Coffin. I can do Sepulchre if given infinite time. Okay, I can sit here and admire this all day and be all proud of myself, but if I did it once, it's time to do it many times over and get better at it. There's the floor 2 page. Floor 5 page, and here's the floor 4 page, which completes the entire book. I can't believe it. What a rush! I made it in time. 12 seconds to spare, that's plenty. Let's open the Grand Hallowed Coffin for the first time. I don't even know what I got. A bunch of blood runes, okay. Woo! I'm still so excited from that first proper completion. I don't know what it is, but every time I try new content that's deemed hard, I get in my head that I won't be able to do it, but it really is just a matter of trying and failing and getting better until you can finally do it. Anyway, I now have enough hallowed marks to buy something at the Mysterious Stranger, so I will be buying the Hallowed Ring. This is usually the first thing everyone buys, and for a good reason. While wearing the ring, all damage that's caused by failing a trap will be prevented, so I no longer have to worry about my HP at all in the Sepulchre. And also, the fail animation will be faster, so it even saves a little bit of time, so that's a fantastic item. It's that time of the year again, a rare opportunity to get a level up on my free-to-play UIM. It's getting less and less frequent. Last level up was 4 months ago, but here we will get 89 crafting. 200 more marks, which means I get to buy 2 more things. The first thing I'll be buying is the Hallowed Grapple. This one makes it so when I have it equipped, there is a 100% chance I will pass the grappling obstacle, and failing that costs a lot of time, so I'm glad to buy this. And the second one will be the Hallowed Focus, which speeds up, making the portals slightly, and also makes it so when I cast a portal to loot the coffin behind it, the lowest level enchantment will be used. Initially I didn't plan to buy this, which is why I made this beautiful painted kite shield, but I noticed that when I got some soul and blood runes, the enchantments starting using my souls and bloods, and there is no way I'm wasting them, so I think this is a good purchase overall. Oh, yes, there we go. Ring of Endurance. I really wasn't expecting to get the ring so early. 63 Grand Hallowed Coffins, that's like 1/3 of the raid. but I'm not complaining. I won't have to stress out about making it to the final coffin in time, and I'm doubly excited because I will actually be keeping the ring. It's charged with stamina potions, and the effect is it doubles the effectiveness of every stamina potion that I drink, and if it has over 500 charges, it also slows down the run energy drain by 15%, and both of those effects will be fantastic when I move on to doing Herbivore, which is also known for being a great activity to combine fletching with, so I see myself doing a lot of it in the future. So now, with the ring obtained, all I need to do at Sepulchre is to get to 5000 hallowed marks to buy all of the rewards, and then that's the minigame green-logged. But before that, since I will be buying some dark dice to color my graceful, it would be good to have a graceful to color, so I will be running some RD laps to get to 260 marks of grace to buy a fresh set. And since Marks of Grace only take up one slot in the inventory, I can switch between doing RD and doing Sepulchre depending on how I feel that moment. It's really good for the mental health to not have to worry about staying at one activity to finish it. If I feel like it, I can do some agility, and if I don't, I can also do some agility. I had to take a break from the Ogre's grind because Freckled Dad is about to be the first person ever to hit 200 million XP in prayer as a free-to-play player, and this is also the same guy that has 200 mil runecrafting XP as the only free-to-play player, so my god, definitely worth dropping the grind for a little bit to witness such an achievement. I've been running the Sepulchre for a while now, and I gotta say I'm quite comfortable here. I almost always make it to the Grand Coffin in time, but one thing I still struggle with is the final obstacle, the fire statues combined with darts. Sometimes I get a few runs where I get past it first try, and other times I have one run where I'm caught like 10 plus times and it feels miserable. I think one big reason why I have some issues with this is my camera angle. I have it set up to face north, and in a few guides that I've watched, everyone had it turned west so they could see darts coming from much further away. But when I turn my camera that way, I can't easily tell where the fires are, and it just looks overwhelming to me. Even though it would probably be better to learn the proper camera angle, I think I'll just stick with my method and have less time to react in return for some visual clarity. Maybe one day I'll learn the proper method. A huge milestone for my collection, here is 10,000 Calquats. And shortly after recording that, I left for a week, and when I came back, I was really sick, which can only mean one thing, and that's of course Runefest. I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I had a fantastic time. It was my first ever Runefest. I went there with Matilda, and I think even she had fun, even though she doesn't play the game. The event itself was really well organized. There were 8 activities to do, ranging from hunting for hidden penguins to shooting cabbages out of a small catapult, and we both completed all of them. Everyone also got this really cool backpack with some goodies, and one of the things inside was a pack of 4 random cards with RuneScape items on them, and your goal was to trade with other people to complete a set of either 4 different fish, logs, ores, gems or runes, and it was a great way to get everyone to interact with each other, and the cards look really good as well. I bestowed upon them the highest honor I can imagine for a trading card, which is to go to my childhood binder. There were also 2 booths that I really enjoyed. The first one was a sailing alpha that everyone attending got to try, and I really enjoyed my time trying out navigating at sea, the new quest, and some of the new content. And the second booth was run by the RuneScape Archive project, and I got to chat with them a little bit about RuneScape Classic and about Instant Demo, and they also gave out these absolutely amazing brochures with a bunch of fun facts and trivia about old versions of RuneScape. It was a really interesting read, and it's definitely the coolest physical RuneScape thing that I own now. They also have a PDF version of that, so if you want to read it, I highly recommend it, and I linked it in the description. But of course, while the event was fun, the thing I will remember forever is meeting and talking with all the amazing people. Here I wanted to give 3 huge shoutouts from the bottom of my heart to Iya for organizing a meetup of so many wonderful people. I got to meet and talk with you, Rinko, Flashcards, Yariosho, Spookdog, Madkip, UIM Herblore, Loki and Grace, and I would never have an opportunity like that if it wasn't for you including me and Matilda, so thank you. I also wanted to shout out Corpozil. It was honestly a miracle we managed to find each other on Runefest with no contact and just a brief description to look for two bald guys. But I'm so glad we got to hang out, you're a great guy, and talking with you was a highlight of the entire weekend for me. And for everyone else that didn't get to meet him, Corpozil also makes YouTube videos of his UIM progress, and I highly recommend to check him out. I will link his channel in the description. And lastly, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Matilda, who ruthlessly pushed me to go and bother a bunch of people that I recognized. I didn't want to be a nuisance to anybody, but she made it her life's mission for that weekend that I don't regret not doing something, and she wouldn't let me leave anyone alone. I really appreciate you being there. It was honestly a great weekend that I will never forget. I wanted to go to a convention like that ever since I was a teenager. Back then it was BlizzCon, now it's Runefest. And I honestly still can't believe, part of me still doesn't believe that it's over. It was over so quickly. I still have the wristband they gave you on my hand, even though it's like a week and a half after the event. I should probably cut it out at some point, but not yet. Anyway, I can't wait for the next one. I will go for sure, and if you're on the fence on going, consider going. It's a magical time. That's the last little batch of Marks of Grace that I needed. I decided to go for double the amount, just so I can get one set to be colored and one set to buy and just have the white, dirty graceful in my POH. I also got enough marks to buy every reward from here that I want, so it's time to greenlock this minigame. But before that, as you can see, my inventory is, well, completely full. But thankfully the mysterious stranger over here offers a shady service to dirty, cheating UIM such as myself, and he will store some Hallowed Sepulchre items for me, so that is very nice. Let's buy some rewards then. I'll start with the cheaper ones, some tools that I didn't buy for the minigame. First one will be the Hallowed symbol. This one makes it so for the brazier obstacle you only need one vampire dust instead of two. And the reason I didn't buy it before is I just didn't do the brazier obstacle. Then there's the Hallowed Hammer, which makes it so when you're building bridges, your nails will never bend. And the reason I didn't buy it before is because I didn't do the bridge obstacle. And finally, there's the Hallowed Token, which is a consumable item that you can use to add a minute to your remaining time. And I didn't buy them before because I wanted to learn Sepulchre with the proper timing and not rely on any crutches. I'm gonna quickly deposit all of the rewards that I just bought. The storage is now all greened out. And there's two rewards left to buy. The first one will be the more expensive one, which is the Dark Acorn. We can use this, of course, on our giant squirrel friend to turn it into a dark variant. But just like with the Bone Squirrel, I'm actually not too big of a fan of this, so I think I'll just metamorphosize it back to the regular squirrel. There you go. And the last collection log slot to get is the Dark Dye, which I can use to color my graceful black. I'll have to buy 6 of those. But let's check our collection log for now, and the Hallowed Sepulchre is entirely green logged. Graceful is all recolored. Let's see what this looks like. I've never gotten a black graceful on any account before. Looks pretty okay, but I'm still more of a fan of the full white graceful. And while the minigame is now green logged, there is still 2 more things that I'd like to do here for more a completionist thing. The first one will be instances, which we can unlock for 200 hallowed marks, and at first I didn't plan to buy this because I thought like, who cares? But the more I did Sepulchre, the more often I would get ragged by other people just doing the minigame with me, and your whole timing gets thrown out. So I'd just rather like to have this unlocked and be done with it, and anytime I want to come back to Sepulchre, I'll just do it alone. I'm a hermit. And for the last thing, I'll grab a Ring of Visibility real quick. Yeah, it's not Ring of Shadows, I still haven't done Desert Treasure 2. When opening up any coffin at the Sepulchre, there is a 1% chance that a ghost of a knight will appear, and they'll just talk to you and not do anything else. And if you don't wear a Ghost Peak amulet, they just say whoa 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 like usual, and then they just leave. There are 4 nights in total, and when opening the Grand Hallowed Coffin, there is a 1% chance that a ghost of the Archpriest of the Unicorn will appear, so there is 5 ghosts in total, and when you meet them once, they will appear here in the lobby, but because there are ghosts, you don't actually see them unless you have a ring of visibility, and I was kinda hoping I will be able to find all 5, and I'm still not sure if I managed to do that. I decided not to stress it, because I just wanted to greenlock the minigame, but I was hoping that we might be able to find all of them for the completion's sake, and it looks like I managed to do it. There is the 4 knights and the Archpriest. Very cool. If I were to continue doing Sepulchre and getting even more hallowed marks, we could buy those hallowed sacks for 100 marks each, and these contain loot you'd normally get from the coffins, minus the clue scrolls, so it's a great way to get a lot of GP from just training agility. But since I don't have 100 marks, what we can buy instead is those hallowed crystal shards, and I'll show you how they work. It will give me a prompt because I'm already here, but they teleport you here to the lobby, and the wiki says that this is actually the closest teleport to a bank in the entire game, and if you're curious what that is, the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines bank as the rising ground bordering a lake, river or sea, or forming the edge of a cut or hollow, so as a UIM, sadly, I cannot use those. And I think this is a good point to wrap up the video. I did everything that I wanted. I went to the Sepulchre, I learned it, I greenlocked it, and I even ended up liking it. And I can see myself going back there in the future, especially since it's so good for clues. And even though I know how to do every obstacle, I still have a lot to learn and get better to get faster rates, so I have that to look forward to. And speaking of clues, I did get a bunch of clues from both Sepulchre and Calcified Rocks, so for now I think I will need to take care of that stack because it takes me like 2 minutes to juggle. And with all that said, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.